Pairwise matching.
The juxtaposition of the two women I thought was really lovely. There's also this strong, very strong visual connection to her painting. I'm totally tuned into visual resonance. And so here's where my background as a graphic designer comes in. The typography of the "Oh What Fun" seemed to me to pick up this kind of elegance that hits about 1950. "Oh What Fun, join us tomorrow" seemed like something that they could be saying to each other.
Pairwise matching. Field observation.
Well, I chose the Shapley and Prada, the images of the two women. It says "Impossible Conversations," which is interesting because they were both designers. I was fascinated by the relationship to Sonya's work, her pattern paintings. These are both pictures of those two women in a mature stage of their lives and their careers. And I paired it with this "Marketing is BS," but I wrote at the top what was originally on the label with the collage, which says "Myth number 1, marketing is BS." I was raised in an art world where we like to believe that you're most pure if you're not advertising, but come on.
Field observation. Unrestricted mutual trade.
Since these two beautiful women are looking at each other rather longingly, and because the image below seemed to be so unified, it seemed to me as if there was a desire to be released.
Unrestricted mutual trade. Stable matches.
The collage shows several gems, and the title I chose is perfect for moonlight. No, I did not get a first choice. A cut stone would sparkle in the moonlight. I guess it wouldn't have to be moonlight, but since there was light available, I decided to use it.
Stable matches. Pairwise matching.
It was very intuitive. I was drawn to the canary diamond, and I chose the title "Find Your Magic" because I've recently become engaged, and she and I settled on a canary diamond for her engagement ring, and to me that was all part of the magic of our love together.
Pairwise matching. Unrestricted mutual trade.
My first choice of the image was the two women in conversation, but I think it was probably picked right away. I chose a blue background with some sparkly bling, and the tagline was "Marketing is BS." By the time I got to Sonya's studio, there were only two choices left, and I wouldn't have picked the jewelry, but I was delighted to get the "Marketing is BS."
Unrestricted mutual trade. Field observation.
This was highly recognizable at the $2.2 million jewelry thing. To show it to large numbers of people is to artificially set their aspirations to an unattainable point. And I thought, yeah, that's wicked. A really nice tailored shirt, or maybe some nice turquoise beads or something that anyone could have, that would be fine. But saying, hi, here is something that is so fancy, no one can ever have it, you should want one. That's wicked.
Field observation. Decentralized.
The notion that you can have critical conversation with strongly conflicting ideas in the same space, that to me is the definition of civil discourse. The cultural space is like dominated by a logo, Christie, so it's all for sale. And below that is this strange image, a photograph of this painting in which there's just a kind of a mirror effect. So does civil discourse occur as just people reflecting each other?
Decentralized. Unraveling.
By the time I was pairing things, there were a lot fewer choices. And originally I was thinking of pairing something with the diamond necklace because that stood out to me. I don't know what that says about me, but so I ended up pairing civil discourse with this because I found it slightly humorous. There's just something funny about having someone say, I can see a whole room and there's nobody in it, and then saying that you're having a civil discourse because you're basically just talking to yourself about something. So
Unraveling. Stable matches.
The one I chose was the one that says Christie's on it, and the title I put was "Oh, what fun," because I've never been to a Christie's auction, and I think it would be fun, especially if one could buy something there.
Stable matches. Pairwise matching.
I didn't get the first selection that I wanted, but on closer inspection, the one that I got was more aligned with the image, and I was really happy about that. It looks like this superhero character who is peering, into the cosmos and the moonlight coming through this opening. I'm very interested in tracking the phases of the moon and the tides. I do open water swimming. Sonya's artwork looked also like phases of the moon.
Pairwise matching. Congestion.
It did take a while for me to kind of figure out because I had like the first choice, so it's all before me. Well, I chose the collage of the Christie's with the man peeking through the hole, and Well, I was instantly drawn to kind of that collage just because of the kind of the comic book art of it, and then I liked the release music title because perhaps he heard something and looked in and no one was there, or he's maybe lying to somebody else that, oh no, there's nobody in there.
Congestion. Decentralized.
The picture actually is lips and nails of a woman with red lipstick, and it was obvious that you should get it now while it lasts. Because the red lipstick, it doesn't last for too long.
Decentralized. Allocation mechanism.
So I chose the collage of lips, the very, very red sensual lips. I'm attracted to the suggestion of sensuality and sexuality in it, and of course it's all very commercial. I chose the artwork takes center stage every night because as I associated those two together in my mind, I thought immediately of prostitution, and sex workers take center stage every night. It's selling sensuality in order to attract consumers, basically. And I love this picture. I love this picture of the lips very much, yes. So I'm happy, definitely.
Allocation mechanism. Allocation mechanism.
I was 9th. I only had 2 choices to make. This probably wasn't my first choice. However, it turned out that I liked my choice. There's this luscious lips that are colored really, really jarring red. I chose Our Work Takes Center Stage Every Night. To me, it spoke a lot about the economy of female body and how it's been sort of used as a tool in advertising to provoke desire.
Allocation mechanism. Stable matches.
I decided to choose the one that said "Get it now," and then I chose the collage mainly because of the doorbell. When you walk up to somebody's door and you press the doorbell, it's something's going to happen now. It's about that, unless they're just not home, and I guess that happens now too. You find out right away they're not home, but you know, you push the bell and that's it. You've chosen.
Stable matches. Deferred acceptance.
Other people had already chosen a panel, so I think I had a choice of 3. And I made the connection here with the one with the doorknob and the figure below. With Our Work Takes Center Stage, because both the images have to do with centers. The doorknob with a plate occupies the center of that section. And there seems to be a kind of images of arms embracing something in the other. And also the typeface of Our Work Takes is very close to the glorious and so good angry.
Deferred acceptance. Deferred acceptance.
So, yeah, neither one were my first choice. This one seemed to go well together for me because it's a Broadway show, it's about religion, about spirituality. For me, This Is No Place to Dream Small fit because it's about dreaming big. So whether that's dreaming big of like making up your own religion, it went well with Sonya's artwork here underneath the doorbell.
Deferred acceptance. Deferred acceptance.
When I came here, there was already, most of them were taken. The collage that I chose was the one with the writing on it. It had words such as love and anger and so forth on it. And I chose Wicked to go with it just because Wicked just seemed to capture some of the other words that were written there, because some of the words seem to be contradicting each other. So Wicked seemed to capture both the good and the bad, because you can use Wicked both ways. Oh, that's really wicked, it means that's really good.
Deferred acceptance. Congestion.
It was something about the cloud technology, and it had a Raphael painting of all the great philosophers. There were only 3 choices left. One of the ones that I would have put together was the same as what Sonya had already done, so I didn't choose that one. And then the other one, my wife was leaning towards, so I didn't choose that one. And so that's the one I chose, with civil discourse. It happens. Of course, all the philosophers together talking. I mean, what's more civil than that?
Congestion. Field observation.
The image is an image of Raphael's painting The School of Athens, which depicts classical philosophers and thinkers assembled and talking to each other. It's an advertisement that looks like it's being used to sell you the cloud, right? A data cloud. The title that I chose to match it with, it says "Marketing is BS." But you don't have to know very much about the picture itself to start to feel a little bit dirty.
Field observation. Pairwise matching.
From a distance, the piece that I selected looked like The Last Supper. It was only later when I approached it more closely that I realized it was not. And so I had chosen the label of This Is No Place to Dream Small, because I feel that way with all thought-provoking pieces of work. And above the work there is some form of, it looks like ancient numbers or language. I was very happy with this choice, although some had been taken. I am very happy.
Pairwise matching. Unraveling.
I was the last person to choose, which means I had no choice. The collage that I was given was a combination of Cartier advertisement and Sonya's piece, Overlaying. The text that had to go along with that was the get it now while they last text. What do I think of that combination? I think it probably works just fine as an accompaniment to a marketing image of propaganda, and I think it's a little maybe crude and vulgar because the image is so beautiful. I think I could live with this pairing of image and text.
Unraveling. Unraveling.
Many people in the world think of the fine jewelry of Cartier as being magical. The title and principle might be very applicable to some people, certainly not to me. In this voting process, I happened to be number 10 out of 10, so I had no choice with regards to the painting that I chose, nor the title that I chose. I thought it was just humorous to be in the situation.
Unraveling. Market failure.
I was really just attracted to it because it has butterflies, and I kind of really loved the way the butterflies matched the lightness in the painting that it's paired with. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to choose the original title I wanted. I really wanted Release Me, which seemed to go well with the notion of the butterfly. So I settled for Oh What Fun, Join Us Tomorrow as my title. I was trying to find a title that sort of evoked the same sense as Release Me, this sort of sense of like fun and freedom, and I think this playfulness of Joining Us Tomorrow was similar. It's a little bit different than what I would have wanted, but I thought it was a good fit in the end.
Market failure. Stable matches.
I had 4 options when it was my turn to choose. I had a strong visual connection with that because it was sort of romantic and rococo. Perfect for moonlight, just seemed to fit with it. You know, kind of an intuitive thing. It looks a little bit like it could be in moonlight or kind of a misty romantic setting.
Stable matches. Stable matches.
I like it for many reasons. It's jewelry. I love jewelry. It was my first choice. I was aware that I would not necessarily get my first choice, so I had a backup plan. Find your magic. That sounds like an upbeat way of looking at life. I like the idea of magic, and I like the idea of search. You know, butterflies kind of mean magic, don't they?
Stable matches. Unrestricted mutual trade.
I didn't really consider the ones that were already taken because I didn't want to upset myself. But I was fairly happy with my choice in the end. The idea or image of a person hiding or being covered by a work of art or an image just resonated with me personally. Get it now while they last. The painting sort of stood in for the body or covered over the body, made for sort of a mystery
in terms of what it is behind the screen that you should be getting and why it is that they won't last very long.
Unrestricted mutual trade. Stable matches.
If I had been the first one in the room, I would have picked this combination, a mostly, possibly naked woman. I was happy with this choice, but I can see from her legs and forehead and eyes that she looks beautiful. I only focused on what was left, both in terms of the pictures and the words, with sexual reproduction being one of the fundamental aspects of life. It seems that this is no place to dream small.
Stable matches. Unrestricted mutual trade.
Occasionally things will jump out at me, and this particular image did. Just the simple concept of vulnerability, maybe because the woman is standing on the platform shoes and the way her legs are positioned, and she seems to be trying to hide or cover herself. And maybe there's something to that about being trampled on, you know. So I matched it with the Release Me moniker.
Unrestricted mutual trade. Allocation mechanism.
The woman with her hand over her left side of her face, I thought was really fascinating because of the attempt to match, somewhat abstractly I guess, the eye and the lips. And I thought it would be fun to see what was underneath the hand. But I thought that the concept was fun. And also the square black and white piece, the repetition of each of the piece also struck me as fun. I mean, oh, what fun could also be a somewhat of a sarcastic statement.
Allocation mechanism. Pairwise matching.
I chose the collage with the woman with the two eyes. One eye is painted on her hand. And I chose the caption, "Perfect for Midnight." Well, it was kind of by default because there are only 3 left. And this one is kind of surreal, and so I think "Perfect for Midnight" kind of goes along with that. Moonlight, you know, I was reading at midnight.
Oh.
Ah! Moonlight's kind of mystical, dark, odd things may happen at that time, and that's kind of how this picture feels.
Pairwise matching. Market failure.
Okay, the collage was the female face. Things are sort of disjointed. And I chose the title of Wicked. I guess just the placement of the eyes and the displacement of the images on the face kind of put me in that kind of a mood of Wicked.
Market failure.